here on a dreary day in Boulder, Colorado, and we're here with KJ McCory, who's CEO of Eco-Efficiency. Tell me a little bit about your business.
Well, Ryan, I am a sustainability consultant. I mainly work with small and medium-sized businesses, and I really focus on doing assessments, sustainability planning, and training.
So what are the skills that you bring to the industry or your business?
Well, I'm very well organized. I love to teach, I love to train, so that's a training part. And then I'm very good at helping teams get real focused in deciding what they want to do with sustainability initiatives.
What is your best definition for sustainability?
Well, it's a great question because I think it's a great dialogue still in our industry today. You know, and for me, it's two things. One is the conservation of resources. A, for future generations, but B, more importantly, if we don't have resources, we can't do business, right? Mm-hmm. The second reason is I think the sustainability is really about this innovation piece of how do we make services and products that are better for not only our lives, but also better for our planet.
Would you say that sustainability is synonymous with environmentalism?
I'm going to say no. I think there's a lot more aspects to it, and here's the difference. I think environmentalism is one aspect of it, but I think sustainability is broader based, meaning that I believe there's an opportunity in sustainability, that innovation piece we talked about, where I think there's opportunity to have a market for products or services that aren't yet there. That is a piece, and that can hopefully generate revenue. And then the next piece is the people piece. I feel like that's really missing from a lot of people's perceptions of sustainability, of how do we support the social side of sustainability. And that's with employees, that's with our community, that's with the nonprofits, that's with volunteering. It's really that side that I think is also very important when we say sustainability.
The way you're talking about sustainability is that it's very broad-based.
I relate the sustainability industry to the IT industry. And you know, back in 1990 when we said, what did you do? And people said, I'm in the IT industry. And it was so big, right? And slowly, people don't say they're in the IT industry anymore. They say they're a programmer. They say they're into networking, or they work with a specific software. And so I see sustainability in the same light, where we're so big, it's so massive, but we're starting to get specialized now. And I think that's what is so important in our movement now with education programs and where we're heading, is we need specialists. We need people like me who really do sustainability planning, and we need people like you that are technical experts in climate change. And all of us working together to help, but I see it really honing in into these specialties from this big, broad word.
If people are seeking to get into a profession with sustainability as a key component, what historic parts of sustainability must they know to move forward?
Well, I think there's four. One is the Brundtland Commission. Where the UN really first time brought nations together to really talk about the environmental issues and you know, some strategies to deal with that. The second one is really the Kyoto Protocol. Another one that really governments came and not only came to talk about it, but made commitments. And although there's lots of controversy of, you know, the U.S. not really engaging and, you know, some different areas, but what it did do, it was the first time nations came to commit. We're going to commit to something. And that changed the game of business. Because once countries started committing, obviously regulations happen. And when regulations happen, that affects business. So I thought that's another turning point. And then the third one is really understanding the Walmart effect. It was huge in 2005 and 2006, the commitment they made. And being the #1 purchase of organic and being the 7th largest trading partner to China, it's a big thing to understand. And then the last one is really understanding this cultural shift, I think, not only in the States, but all over the world. And that cultural shift of wanting to support companies that are doing the right thing, the cultural shift of people themselves wanting to work for good companies, and the cultural shift of just individuals wanting to do the right thing and purchasing products that are healthy for them and healthy for the planet.
Why do you think that sustainability is a growing industry right now?
That's a great question. And it's growing, but I don't think it's hit its tipping point. It's growing Walmart, without a doubt. And because of Walmart, not only because they're a massive, large company, and GE as well, so companies start looking at that and wanting to replicate what they're doing. But it's also Walmart, I call it the down cycle, the supply chain. They start mandating things that goes to their suppliers, that goes to their suppliers, that goes to their suppliers. So no matter where you are in that chain, if you're somewhere in that Walmart line, you're going to be affected by sustainability. So that's the first one.
What does Walmart see in sustainability to make them take action like this?
Well, I think it's two things. One, based on me seeing them at different conferences and hearing representatives of them speak, I really believe there's a change of heart and value. That could be argued based on people's perceptions, but that's just mine based on seeing those people. And so I really believe that they want to do the right thing. The second reason is they're seeing the cost benefit of this. They've done enough initiatives now since 2005 that they're realizing some big money can be made through reduced packaging, through employee wellness, through waste reduction, through energy conservation, and that's all added up to millions of dollars.
There's some key concepts for people to understand at the root of sustainability, like the three-legged stool.
Yeah.
What is the three-legged stool?
Well, the three-legged stool could also be called the triple bottom line or the 3E, and it's really, the words used are environment, economic, and social, or people, planet, profit. And one leg is really the environmental aspect and how you're doing things to promote that. One aspect is social side in terms of your philanthropy, volunteerism, and one side is really the profit side, things that you're doing either to increase revenues or cut costs with sustainability.
What is the greater gain in the end by applying the three-legged stool?
Well, I think from a business standpoint, you want to have all. You want to have fun, engaged employees in your company. You want to make money. That's the point of business. And you want to do the right thing for the planet.
How is sustainability affecting the business world?
Well, the first way it's affecting it is there's consumer demand. Consumers are now looking at companies more. They're voting with their dollars, so they're making purchasing decisions on greener products and services. So companies want to get in the game, right? So that's the first way. Second way is definitely through Walmart, through the government supplier guidelines, through companies really mandating certain policies and green procurement scope of work. Companies need to be compliant. So it's really affecting them in that way too.
What about Cradle to Cradle?
Cradle to Cradle was developed by William McDonough, and it was the first time a framework was developed of zero waste in manufacturing and zero toxins used. And it was quite a shock to most of the manufacturing industry that it could be done, but they have done a great job to not only prove it, but they have certifications in it.
What about the precautionary principle?
Well, the precautionary principle is really based on not doing an action unless you've really assessed the risk to it. And it gets more into that systems approach of doing something and what is the cause and effect of whatever that action is.
There are certain themes of sustainability that might have stigmas associated with them, like climate change. Do you have any thoughts about reducing human resistance to some of sustainability topics?
Yeah, I have three for you. The first one is we need to get the science out there, and the science is out there. And I think we need to get it in a language that people understand, the common people need to understand. And so that's the first thing with climate change is there's still this debate of whether it exists or not. Well, the science is back. It is conclusive that it's happening, and we need to get that more out there in terms of simple terms. The second thing, we need more education and training in companies. As we talked about before, sustainability is such a big word. What does it mean? What does it mean for you and your family? And you're just trying to make ends meet. So how can I educate to help you understand? And not only understanding what it means, but how can you make different decisions when you're sitting in your company and bringing that sustainability piece in? So I think that's another crucial thing. And then the third thing is the modeling. We have great companies like GE, Walmart, New Belgium Brewery here in Colorado, White Wave Foods, who are doing incredible things, and really learning from those companies of best practices helps it make it not feel so scary, not make it feel so hard. It's attainable, and there's real benefit to it.
What's needed for sustainability to catch full sail, or has it caught full sail already?
Well, I don't think it's caught already. I think there's a couple things. One, companies have been measuring now. We have some good data where they've been measuring emissions, they've been measuring waste, and we've seen some not only real reduction, but we've also seen some real cost savings. And I think to continue that is going to make that business case for businesses to do it. So I think that's one big thing. The second thing is consumer demand. And so consumers still voting with their dollars is going to be huge. And so the more that we see these green products and services increasing, the more people are going to want to be engaged in it.
Let's talk about the future of sustainability. What would you say is the mega trend going on?
Well, I think we're going to need more sustainability professionals. I think we're going to need more technical experts, people who are in renewable energy, water, you know, more on that technical side. And we're definitely going to need more people who can really be internal practitioners like corporate responsibility officers, sustainability managers, that kind of profession. In 1950, 5% of the Fortune 500 had HR directors. And in 1950 was that cultural shift of employees were important. And now we're in this cultural shift of really about sustainability being important and wanting to do the right thing. And so I see that growing in companies, and hopefully soon we'll have a corporate responsibility officer in every company.
What are some of the opportunities for business with sustainability in mind?
Well, the first opportunity is reduction of costs. If I use less energy, it's less cost. If I reduce my waste, whether that's manufacturing or recycling, you can even make money as well as reduce costs. And so there's a huge opportunity to reduce your costs. There's also a huge opportunity for growth. The innovation coming out and the products and services that are available that the consumers want, huge opportunity for new innovation products and services to grow your company. And lastly, people want to work for companies doing the right thing. And to keep your employees in terms of recruiting the good talent pool and to keeping the employees that you do have, that has a real cost to it too.
Wow. Well, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, Ren.
A lot of
Appreciate
insight.
it.